Hey, good morning. My name is Jared. Hey, I host the daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics called Justice's Waiting Room. I'm also, with the help of many people, founding the American Socialist Party. I made a video that I've posted on YouTube and TikTok calling out first for fellow veterans. And here's why. You know how I talk about I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing, and how I believe in being pro-equality, and that, to quote Patrick Skinner, he's a police officer, we either all matter or none of us do. And then obviously I'm very pro-union. I want everyone to get a good job, that they can join a union that will go to bat for you to get you better wage and benefits, right? I want everybody to always be getting more, right? In an environment we're in where like the rising cost of goods, But I'm making this video today again, calling out for other veterans to join us. I have a Discord. Hey, I have presence on Twitter, on Facebook, on Blue Sky first, right? So you understand. But yeah, I'm building the American Socialist Party. I'm going to veterans first before I go to like union members, because I'm not a member of a union, right? And before you go to, right, other organizations, you want to go to one you belong to, right? The military. Hey, this goes out to veterans who are, in my eyes, the most politically ambiguous group of people I've ever met. And when I say that, it's the way we all are would not lead you to believe we were political people. Does that make sense? Of all the people that I could think of that I met on active duty, that I've met since I've come home, to say it flatly, they're all like fully developed embryos. You know what I mean? And so when you have fully developed people that have like a natural ability to get through things, they experienced socialism directly while they're on active duty. Let me explain. I always say, like, I want you to have universal health care. Well, you don't have to pay for that when you're in active duty. You or your family. I tell you that I want you to have universal education. Okay? Not only while I was on active duty did the Marine Corps have an MCI program. They have their own school. You can also go pay into the GI Bill. I want to make sure I point out you buy that. So as much as I laud veterans benefits and say like there's 100% the reason to serve, the benefits are, should something horrible happen, holy shit, man. But just the education benefit alone saves for me about $25,000 a year. Okay, so, and that's to go to school at Purdue online. And understand, like, the GI Bill is like very good. There's also VRNE. You can qualify for VRNE and they'll pay for advanced programs. I have friends that have absolutely gamed that system for several degrees. And for the record, they work for the government. So, game that system and got several degrees and several certifications. It's highly useful, right? And then if you're disabled in the military, you get disability as a retired veteran, and I get that. And it kind of covers universal income and housing for me. Okay? So my benefits barely cover my mortgage, maybe like a couple $100. And then so yeah, I technically get a couple $100 from the gov. It also pays my mortgage, so I'm admitting both are paid. But now, as someone who experiences socialism, and what does it allow you to do when you experience socialism? Well, to be honest with you, it allowed me to. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. For the first time I could remember in a long time, we were just able to give my niece a little bit of cash and say, "Hey, you enjoy being young. She want to buy an outfit for spring break or something. Here, kid. The moment I got it, you can have it. Here." So understand, like, not for myself, not building it to get rich. That's a silly scheme. But I want you to join me. I want you to be your useful self for a cause. You know, it's like they say, those who plant trees will never sit in the shade they provide. This is one of those movements where I honestly, to be completely honest with you, I think it's perfect timing. We need a workers' party in the United States free of foreign influence. A reminder, I want to make sure I tell it. I'm going to keep singing it from the fucking rooftops. The entire Republican Party took money from Russia. Every single fucking elected official. And many people downstream. 100 elected Democrats take money from AIPAC. Israel. Bibi. A genocide. Free Palestine. Right? Donald Trump said on Truth Social, we should stop focusing on Putin. What? Anyway, and I saw this morning, and it is the reason I'm making this video, layoffs begin at the Social Security Administration, was the headline I saw today. And I just wanted to point this out. And it's just this shit that pisses me off. Like, Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan's podcast and said that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. That shows you how uneducated he is. Social Security is it's payroll tax funded. Like, our taxes pay into our Social Security. You contribute all of the money that you will get back from Social Security. That you are buying that, friend. That's ours. That's your individual monies. Good to go. Now, I understand when I was a child, my dad told me, act as if you will never have that. Act as if you'll work until you die. Okay? So understand, Elon Musk's attacking of Social Security is theft. He's stealing from you. One of my favorite things about this entire 8 or 9 year span has been the threat of violence from the right. More specifically from militias in the United States. This is how dumb you motherfuckers are. All you dumb gun nuts that go out the weekend with your boys and shoot and talk about how if the government ever became fucked up, you would actually do something about it. Atop Capitol Hill sits a tyrannical government. There's more than mounting evidence. They cheated in this election. And oh, by the way, I want to point out, as Donald Trump tries to stifle the FBI, CIA, generally the national security, he's trying to destabilize that in the United States. I just want to point out that he signed Executive 13848 September 18th, 2018 while he was in office. And Joe Biden re-signed it every year since. It's not up for being re-signed. And Joe Biden and Donald Trump hasn't targeted it. And I just wanted to point out that every relevant agency, FBI, CIA, NSA, CISA, DSIC, that's at least 5 I can name off the top of my head, they bare minimum investigated every election in the United States. Bare minimum. That report's due out today. So I just want everyone to know, amidst all this fucking awful instability, in my eyes, it's just the death of the Republican Party. How do you regroup from this? When Executive Order 13848 comes out and the punishment that follows? I tried to tell you all this time that yes, they've tipped their cap. The Republicans have told you they've done everything Vladimir Putin could have possibly wanted you to do, and he hasn't even been in office 60 days. Everything. His hand's on the table. I'm just saying. I don't think it's a good look. I think those reports are going to start to leak. I think people that even voted for him are starting to turn on him en masse. How do I know? They're in my fucking DMs. I fucked up bad. But yeah, I wanted to get back to that point I was making earlier. Sorry, I have ADHD like a motherfucker. All you guys that talk tough, there's a tyrant atop Capitol Hill. and you're sitting on your hands. I just wanted to point that out because I said that shit because I was on active duty in the Marine Corps, and whenever anybody's trying to get tough with me, I've tried to tell you how heavy the head that wears the crown. Combat veteran, and I'm not a combat veteran, so I just want to make sure I say that because motherfuckers, apparently that matters. No, 1.5% of all the people that have ever served have seen combat, and God bless their souls. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I always tell people I ain't no fucking war hero, but I know some. And man, that does not wear well. Just wait until all those people that are cheering on our demise, those people that spit fire and flame about Democrats and wanting to commit harm against them and they want to use the U.S. Special Intelligence Services against Americans and the U.S. military against Americans. Something has to fucking happen before those orders are given, because George Carlin said half of all people are stupid and the other half are even stupider. So which are you? Especially if you work for the FBI, CIA, the U.S. military. Will you just start opening up on U.S. citizens? Would you kill someone in the United States if you were ordered to do that? You know that's an unlawful order, right? That's why I'm saying join the American Socialist Party. Help me fight for equality. Help me fight for universal health care, education, income, and housing, and lay down your fucking arms and know that that is not the path forward. Look at, over the course of history, what violent acts have done. Nothing. Look where they lead. Extreme fascism, authoritarian dictatorship, oligarchy, kleptocracy, right? All these things that we've seen it drug out in front of us and have said, like, capitalism, holy shit, that looks like shit right now, right? Socialism. The social economic theory suggests the elimination of rent, interest, and tax, as they are derivative of your labor. If my taxes are just going in some billionaire's fucking pocket, fuck taxes too. We could play this game. It's time to start pulling out your federal taxes. Start setting that money aside. Stop paying it directly to the gov. That's the loan that you give the government every month, that you either pay too little to the just right amount or you overpay for. That's your tax return. I want my country to be great. Right now, it's actually good. The rule of law is actually holding. People are protesting this fucking regime. Don't forget, if you're going to fucking protest, American flag. And I got a new problem. I went to start my car yesterday. Battery's dead. So, good news now, I can actually get a new battery if I have to. So, protest tomorrow, your state capital. Go to R50501. Go to R Protest Finder USA on Reddit. You can also search for the American Socialist Party on Blue Sky on Twitter, and there's a Facebook group called the American Socialist Party. I implore you to join, especially if you're a veteran, before I even go to the unions myself. I've made content before about how when I was on active duty, my battle buddy RJ Rady died. I had to go to his fucking posthumous UCMJ trial, where they took away his honorable discharge because they found cocaine in his system and said that he did it to himself. So for over a decade, I was super depressed, had survivor's guilt because my battle buddy died and I made it, and I wasn't there to prevent that from happening. So for over a decade, I was super sad about RJ Rady, and it affected my relationship with other people, and for that I'll forever apologize. And then in 2018, his wife got in touch with me and said, hey, RJ was actually murdered. And I thought my reaction to that was go back to school, get a degree, become a football coach. It's the game I've known the longest. I could probably be a good football coach. I'll become a famous coach. And one day they'll ask me what drives you, and I'll get to tell them. You know, when I was on active duty, RJ Rady all this shit, and maybe I can get him an honorable discharge because he was murdered. I have proof. I even know who did it. All that shit. That was 2018. And his name is still on my tongue. And I've been out of the military for 17 years. So I will always double back for a friend. Think about all the people that you know, especially if you're a veteran listening to this 15-minute fucking rant, especially if you're a veteran listening to this right now. A USMC veteran, a Marine Corps infantry veteran is starting the American Socialist Party and asking first for other veterans to take up the cause. Y'all didn't never fuck with Democrats and Republicans, no way. That's the most common conversation I've ever had with veterans and active duty personnel in my entire fucking life. I can't stand Democrats and Republicans or people that ascribe to either. Here's your fucking opportunity to help me build the American Socialist Party and give this to America. And that be your fucking legacy. I know a lot of veterans are fucking aimless right now. And their service doesn't mean much to them. And look at what's going on in your country being torn apart by the stroke of a fucking pen. I fucking told you the pen is mightier than the sword. But violence is not the answer. The enemy has drones. The answer? Mass mobilization, organization, strike, boycott, and protest. Tomorrow, your state capital, noon, I'll be there. Bring the American flag. Do not let it touch the ground. Bring your military flag. Do not fly it higher than the U.S. flag. People have asked, should we fly it upside down? Of course. But that's typically used for people in military and government as a symbol of distress. That's why you saw that video of that in Washington, D.C., where somebody put a flag upside down. So I'm not here to police your feelings. Distress, I'd argue, is a feeling. So if people want to walk around with the U.S. flag upside down, it doesn't fucking bother me. It doesn't incense me more than I already am. I want my fucking country back. As I see, like I said, what really lit me up this morning was seeing that Donald Trump is starting to mass lay off people that work for the Social Security Administration. And I just happen to work in the Medicare, Medicaid space for a long time. And an inordinate number of people that get these services are disabled. And it just makes me fucking sad that those people can't protest. But this fucking administration can lay off thousands of Social Security Administration workers, making those people's fucking lives harder. And that shit just pisses me off, man. Because an inordinate number of people that are disabled are also veterans. I am a disabled veteran. Have a good rest of your day.